Time to hit the road.
Finally, we are here. Never mind. I'll find a new route. When possible, make a U-turn.
Attention, veuillez respecter la limitation de vitesse.
vaya recto.
Keep left. Let's do this.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left. Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right. Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right. Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right. Keep left, and then turn left. Turn left. Get ready to turn right. Turn right. Here we are, safe and sound. Ready to roll. Okay, here we go. Turn right. Keep left, and then turn left. Turn left. Recomputing. Never mind. I'll find a new route. Rerouting. Okay, let's find a new route. Finding a new route. Go straight on.
Knowledge fight. And Jordan, I am sweating. KnowledgeFight.com. It's John Bray.
I have great respect for Knowledge Fight.
Knowledge Fight. I'm sick of them posing as if they're the good guys, saying we are the bad guys. Knowledge Fight.
Dan and Jordan. Knowledge Fight.
I need money.
and then
I love your room. Knowledge fight.
KnowledgeFight.com.
turn right.
I love you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Knowledge Fight. I'm Dan.
I'm Jordan.
We're a couple dudes like to sit around, worship at the altar of Celine, and talk a little bit about Alex Jones.
Oh, indeed we are, Dan.
Jordan. Jordan.
Quick question for you.
What's up?
What's your bright spot today, buddy?
My bright spot today is not a bright spot
Oh,
per se.
okay.
But it's one of future promise.
Okay.
Potential bright spot in the future.
All right.
That I have not had the time yet to look into, but I'm very excited about.
Okay.
So I don't know if you know this,
I don't.
but Popeye has become public domain.
Popeye the character.
The Sailor Man.
Yes, okay.
And I watched something on Amazon Prime,
Uh-huh.
and they suggested that I watch some movie called like Popeye's Revenge.
All right.
People are able to make horror movies now just with Popeye.
Oh, I heard about that with like Winnie the Pooh. I think they made one and stuff like that.
Not interested in Winnie the Pooh.
No.
But I am interested in Popeye.
Of course.
And I saw that there were like 3 or 4 of them.
Damn.
Yeah, people are cranking them out because this character is just public domain.
Why wouldn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to watch all of them.
Okay.
I'm going to watch every single Popeye horror movie
Mm-hmm.
that these dumb mills can crank out.
I think what's funny about that is it never would have occurred to me, but now that I think about it, I think Popeye would be a great horror movie villain.
Those arms.
Those arms, they like he eats spinach and then he pops your head clean off. He was always so nice.
He's so not scary when he doesn't have spinach, though.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's
wonder
fair.
how these horror movies are going to deal with that.
Keep
So
left.
yeah, I'm
And then
very
turn
excited
left.
about watching this garbage.
Yeah,
I
that'll
think they're
be
going to be
cool.
very bad.
Yep.
But
Turn
man,
left.
man, what a waste of creativity and resources. Anyway,
Why? Because it's there.
Right.
That's why humans do stuff.
because it's technically legal now.
Yep.
So what's your bright spot?
My bright spot is we went and saw a movie. That was a lot of fun. Had some popcorn.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It was great.
Went to go see Weapons.
Yeah, it was a great time. It was an all right movie.
Yeah, it was fine.
You liked it less than I did.
Yeah, and I afterwards we were talking about it, and I
Mm-hmm.
worried that I might have yucked your yum a little bit or brought you down because you were more positive and I was a little more meh.
Yeah, I mean, I like to come out anytime I come out of a movie theater. In general, I tend to love the movie, except for the last Skywalker,
The Star Wars?
Yeah, the Star Wars one. That really bummed me out. I've been fucked over by Star Wars in the movie theater 4 times.
Name them off.
Well, the prequels, and then
That was 3 of them.
and then the Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Yeah. Force Awakens, all right, serviceable, and at a movie theater, great flick. But
Did you see the special editions when they were
Keep
re-released in theaters?
oh yeah, of the
You disappointed
prequels.
of those? No,
Oh.
of the 4, 5, and 6.
Oh yeah, of course.
So you weren't disappointed by those.
Fuck no, I've seen 4, 5, and 6 more times than I can count.
But the special editions.
When my very first actual Christmas gift that I loved was the 3 VHS box of Star Wars, my
I
man.
remember that box.
Those I
Keep
ate up.
right.
I watched those so many times, even though they had that goddamn extra scene on Tatooine.
Right.
With the little brontosaurus guy. Oh,
That almost ruined
that
it.
almost ruined it for the whole movie.
I admire your positivity, and
Yeah.
I like that you keep a bright attitude coming out of the movie. I often do.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
What was this? And that when we left that theater, I was in a what was that kind of
Yeah.
mood?
No, I think that's fair. I think that's totally fair. I think it's got that different, for me, it's the difference between like a passive entertainment and an active entertainment. If I'm at home, there's always a certain amount of passivity to it. Like, oh, I can go get something or look at my phone for like 5 seconds or something like that.
Sure.
But in movie theater, I'm in. I have to be.
Yeah.
I've chosen to do this, you know?
Yeah, there's more of an event
Yeah.
element to it.
Yeah.
Although we went to the Alamo Draft House,
Yeah.
and it was a baby day screening,
I
which
could not be
the
happier.
premise of that is insane.
Yeah.
That there's a baby day horror movie screening. I don't know about this.
Yeah.
I don't have kids and I don't know how to parent, so maybe I'm wrong about this, but it seems I wouldn't want a kid in one of these movies?
I wouldn't understand it at all, but I mean, I guess the idea is that there are people at home. Always a certain amount of passivity to it, like, oh, I can go get something and or look at my phone for like 5 seconds or something like that.
Sure.
But in movie theater, I'm in. I have to be.
Yeah.
I've chosen to do this. You know.
Yeah, there's more of an event
Yeah.
element to it.
Yeah.
Although we went to the Alamo Draft House,
Yeah.
and it was a baby day screening,
I
which
could not be
the
happy.
premise of that is insane.
Yeah.
That there's a baby day horror movie screening. I don't know about this.
Yeah.
I don't have kids and I don't know how to parent, so maybe I'm wrong about this, but it seems I wouldn't want a kid in one of these movies.
I wouldn't understand it at all, but I mean, I guess the idea is that there are people at home with their babies who are like, if I stay inside for another 5 minutes, I am going to murder this entire world.
And I've got to go watch upsetting movie.
That's what I got to do. I got to take my baby. So this is what we do now. Yep.
Baby doesn't know enough to be upset.
That's remains to be seen.
This baby doesn't know about plot holes.
I don't know how babies work. Maybe later on that'll be the thing.
Yeah. And I want to say also, I recognize the hypocrisy of me being like, on this movie, and being also like, I can't wait to watch this shit with Popeye.
Popeye. Nobody's saying that your movie reviewing has to be anything. It can be whatever you want it to be. And eclectic, I think, is great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So I have a review to share with you.
What's that?
Today, and that is of an episode of Alex Jones's show.
Yeah? How is it?
It's bad.
Ah, shit.
It's July 17th, 2025, and the ongoing saga of Trump really fucking up his response to the Epstein
Yep.
files.
Keep left.
Last we left off, there was a demon. The 16th was real tough because Trump had tweeted out, I don't want you as my fans anymore, go fuck yourselves.
Yep.
And Alex had to deal with that on the fly.
Yeah.
But it's been a day. You know, it's the 17th now.
Sure. Now you've had time to process it. You've gone home. You've had dinner with some of your kids, presumably.
Rogers beat the shit out of you.
Rogers spent a long time on the phone with you.
Sharing weird pictures of him with dictators in foreign countries over the years.
How would you feel if this dictator I know talked to you for a second?
Yeah. I know people.
Hey.
I don't know what happens, but Alex's tone has changed a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Reroute.
And it's exciting to see how it's not. It's
All right.
bad. But we'll get to that here in a second. First, though, let's take a moment to say hello to some new
Ooh,
walks.
that's a great idea.
So first, been listening for a couple years now and love the show. Also, Jordan, if you're enjoying the Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy crossover, I highly recommend trying the Final Fantasy TCG. It's super fun, and you can make decks around some of your favorite games. Thank you so much. You're now Policy Wong.
I'm a policy wonk.
Thank you very much.
I looked into that because you brought it up.
Yeah.
The Final Fantasy one.
Yeah.
I saw that there's a Spider-Man one coming.
Ooh, yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it
I
does
might have
sound
to
fun.
get some of them cards.
I mean, it's a Spider-Man crossover. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Come on.
Keep left.
Next, Joe from London says his buddy Eric in South Carolina always knows what time it is when he wakes up. Thank you so much. You're now Policy Wong.
I'm a policy wonk.
Thank you very much.
And Corinne, not Karen, the spirit of Dunkin'
Keep
Donuts
right,
shining in the eyes
and
of
then
every
exit
child
right.
longing for deliciousness in Paragon City. Thank you so much. You're now Policy Wong.
I'm a policy wonk.
Thank you very
Exit
much.
Thank you. And we got to take the credit mix, Jordan. So thank you so much to Sarah. The globalists keep draining the fishing hole. I don't know how it's nefarious yet, but together we can figure this out. Extra love from my boy Socks. Thank you so much. You're now taking the credit.
I'm a policy wonk.
Sports stars, go home to your mother and tell her you're brilliant.
Someone sodomite sent me a bucket of poop.
Daddy Shark.
Keep left.
Jar Jar Binks has a Caribbean black accent. He's a loser, little titty baby. I don't want to hate black people. I renounce Jesus Christ.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much.
So on our last episode, we left off with Alex saying that like a year ago, Trump put on the Ring of Sauron,
Right.
And then he
Keep
started
right,
engaging with his
and then
masculine
turn
flesh
left.
too much.
Sure.
And a demon probably got in him, and now he's Dark Trump.
Like the good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you got to deal with that. He's going to crush all of
Turn
you.
He's
Right.
just going to be Dark Trump. There's nothing you can do.
Yep. So 24 hours later,
Yep.
here's where we are on the 17th.
I really prayed about the Trump situation. I've analyzed everything. And I know exactly what's going on. I know the truth. And President Trump is telling the truth. And I understand why he's afraid. They're also Trump sources. And I was so dumbstruck 12
Turn right.
days ago
So long.
by that memo, and then knowing Trump was behind it.
Never mind. I'll find
And
a
then
new
his
route.
response saying, shut this down, stop investigating, without any clarity. And then coming out Sunday, 7 days later, and saying, no, they've had the file. They filled it full of BS. Brennan, Clapper, Comey, of course, that's who controlled the file. And that totally makes sense and is true. That's their MO. That's all they do. But Trump has done a F minus. I mean, my God, it's worse than that. I mean, it's like a zero on the Streisand affecting and not having clarity and flip-flopping back and forth. It's just been horrifying. But that said, I've had a lot of clarity last night and this morning, and I have some congressional reports out. They've now saved over 30,000 children in sex slavery and slave labor. You only hear about it here and there because under law they can't reveal 3-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 15-year-olds because they're juveniles. But when you see the raid on the big pot farm, and now it's 14 kids, some as young as 8, working in slave labor and God knows what, you're able to learn about that little window because they attacked them with clubs and guns, shot at them, and cinder blocks smashing out their SUV windows, attempted murder.
So just a day before this, Trump had posted on Truth Social that he didn't want the support of people who were still talking about Jeffrey Epstein. That's not a bad handling of a breaking story or unclear communication. Like, Alex is trying to present this as a PR debacle.
Right.
That's not what this is. This is a lunatic lashing out against the lunatics he's corralled into a fan base.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's
Yesterday,
find a
it
new
looked
route.
like Trump had put on the one ring after getting shot in Butler, and he'd gotten
Turn
too
left.
absorbed in raw masculine power that it created, which made him susceptible to a demon taking over his mind and body. But today, Alex has prayed about it, and I guess everything's fine. What this indicates to me is that he thinks that things are just going to go back to normal. In the past 10 days since the FBI memo came out, Alex has been trying to figure out what the best positioning was for him, and what narrative was going to allow him to straddle the line between not pissing off Trump and Roger and saving face with the Save the Children crowd. Needed to serve both of those interests. The way he's talking here makes you think that he's decided that it's safe to downplay this, and he's banking on being able to pacify the Epstein child trafficking hardliners by appealing to the ideas that Trump and ICE are saving all these children from slavery.
Yeah.
The pot farm bust that Alex is talking about is a really complicated case, and I think that it absolutely shouldn't have happened like it did, but I don't mean to say that there wasn't any potential wrongdoing, especially from like a labor front on the farm's part.
Sure.
The raids were carried out on 2 farm locations run by Glass House, the largest legal weed growers in California. In the ensuing chaos, a man trying to run from ICE fell from a roof and died. Around 360 people were detained, including 4 U.S. citizens. When immigration agents showed up to the farm, they were met by protesters who were a separate group from the workers who were being targeted by ICE. Alex is exaggerating the violence involved, but there are reports of things like protesters kicking a can of gas back at the officers who threw it at them, and an allegation that someone fired a gun. Whatever the case is here, this was not violence being carried out by immigrants, which ICE is then responding to with violence. The law enforcement are the instigators of the violence in this confrontation.
Yeah.
In the raid, the police found 10 minors, but it's unclear what that means. The children may have been the offspring of people who worked at the farm who couldn't afford daycare for their kids. We don't know what the specifics are here, but it would be unwise to assume that they were all child laborers. There's also another sticky issue here, which is that the BBC reported Customs and Border Patrol saying that the youngest minor they found was 14. In California, it's legal for people to work in agricultural jobs over the age of 12, which is something Alex has been very in favor of in the past. His position has always been that in the country, you start work early as a way of life, and laws that prohibit that are meant to be attacks on the rural community. However, even though it's legal for 14-year-olds to work in agricultural settings in California, you have to be 21 or older to work on a cannabis farm. And so that still could be an issue. But it gets even messier because the Glass House farm in question was their location in Camarillo, California. According to the Associated Press, when they bought that farm, there were 6 greenhouses there that were used for tomatoes and cucumbers. Quote, to date, 2 of the greenhouses have been converted to grow cannabis. Workers' relatives said tomatoes are still being grown in other greenhouses at the location. The point is that we don't know if these 10 miners were even working at this farm. And if they were, it's possible that they were employed in a capacity that people their age in California can legally be employed in. I'm not saying that there's no problem here, just that the problem is more of a workers' rights issue than an immigration one, just on its face. An ICE raid doesn't do shit to address whatever underlying problems may exist from a labor perspective on that farm. But Alex knows that Trump has made himself really vulnerable to accusations that he's covering up child trafficking, and no matter what the people in the media try to say, Trump will not stop making it worse. Alex can't spin any of that shit that he's doing, so he needs to change the conversation entirely. Sure, Trump is acting super weird about this Epstein stuff, but did you see that raid on a pot farm? It's not going to work, but it's a decent attempt at misdirection. And you see on this episode a pretty heavy interest in that. Misdirect, redirect these feelings and the attention that people have.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, because the only option other than that is the right one, which is to say I'm out.
Yeah.
You know, like when your only option is to say I'm out, and you make up a story that helps you say the other.
Yep.
You know, and I mean, it's regular behavior that we all engage in very often, so I think it's fine. Except for, you know, it's horrifying!
Yeah, it's ridiculous for Alex, a guy who's fighting the devil and shit. There's such a clear choice to make, and he just refuses to make the one choice.
I mean, it's just like, hey, like I work at the library and I've got a bad supervisor. That sucks, but you'll probably be fine. No big deal. This motherfucker, you're supposed to be fighting the goddamn devil. You're the tip of the spear.
Yeah, is the war with the devil just something that, like, we'll get used to it?
Nah.
I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can operate that way, and that's clearly what he wants to do.
I mean, there is, to be more on the other hand, maybe there's something very deep about this. This war between the devil and God been going on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know, probably gonna keep going long after you're dead. So calm it down, relax about it. Oh, the devil's doing stuff. He's always getting up to stuff.
And then turn
Sure.
left.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm fine if that's your take. That's not Alex's.
No, that is not.
If that were consistent, if you had a laissez-faire take on the devil,
What are you gonna do with this devil? He's
yeah,
coming.
Yeah. If that had been his long-standing position, then I'd be like, hey, cool, man.
That
That is what you're all
would
about.
be a different show, though, I imagine.
So Alex has come to the conclusion that Trump, he's more good than bad.
The point is that they are doing so much good dismantling the deep state and all the rest of it that I just find it impossible not to back Trump. I'm going to be very critical of him when he's doing wrong, but I just cannot throw the baby out with the bathwater, and that's where I stand.
So that's where he stands. That's a pretty clear position.
Yeah, I mean,
Turn left.
I don't think I would ever want to say that out loud.
Yeah.
It's impossible for me to change. Is a really fucked up thing to like say out loud, let alone truly believe.
It seems like what he's saying is that there's no situation where he's not going to make excuses.
Yeah, I'm going to walk in on Trump having sex with my wife, and I'm going to say, "Sir, I would like to ask you to leave, please, and
no.
I'll see you next year."
Not even that.
Yeah.
Sir,
No.
you
Go
have
fuck my wife.
Sir, you have proved that my
exit
wife is a
right.
bombshell because you only fuck
Right.
bombshells.
Right, there you go.
Right.
Frankly, it's an
Exit
honor.
right.
Yes.
It's an honor. And he should also have prima nocte for my daughters. I think that makes perfect sense.
So, like, I think that Alex's primary issue is exploiting fears and sensationalizing abuse against children.
Sure.
Like, in order to fuel a lot of this propaganda and conspiracy
Keep
narratives. That's central for him. And if he's willing to just be like, hey, Trump told us to shut up about this and he called us stupid. If you're going to not throw that bathwater out, there's not a baby in there. That's just shitty bathwater.
Nope, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's no hope. So, look, it's about power, really.
I think it actually is, yes.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
I'm going to say this very clearly, very succinctly, that I'm going to unpack it. The American people want firings and indictments of the globalist deep state operatives. got shot down and voted down 99-1. Now they've got the Genius Act that's got a central bank digital currency pathway in it that Trump says he opposes. We'll shoot that down. So the point is, we've got traction. We're winning.
If you're keeping score, what Alex is saying is that working with the devil is okay if it makes you win more. If you get what you want, then it doesn't really matter if you cover up sex trafficking in order to enable it. You'll notice this with folks like Alex, where when they're in opposition to the main institutional power structure, they're all about principle. Shit is very simple, and red lines are super easy to draw because they don't really matter. Ron Paul can make all kinds of demands based on principle, and then when nothing gets done, everyone can just move along. But when they're close to power, that reliance on principle gets replaced by a lot of ends justify the means rhetoric. A lot of, you have to take the rough with the smooth kind of talk. This happens because once the people they feel close to are in undeniable power, those red lines actually start to matter. When Trump's supposed to have Kash Patel release the Epstein stuff on day one, there's no real reason for that not to happen. When Ron Paul wanted to abolish the Federal Reserve, everyone knew that wasn't happening, and he didn't have the power to get it done. But now, all of the right people have the power that they're supposed to have in order to achieve the promised result. They have to shift to this kind of approach because if they stayed with the principled angle, they would have to alienate themselves from their perceived closeness to power. The Alex that was supposed to have existed for the last 30 years would never accept this kind of thing from a politician. Trump literally said that people who still cared about Epstein were stupid on TV. Alex, it can't be more of a, you suck than that. We like to imagine that the old Alex would never have put up with that. But in reality, I strongly suspect that if Roger Stone had thought Alex was a worthwhile investment in 2000, there's a good chance Alex would never have been a Bush did 9/11 guy. I don't think it's crazy to think that, he never would have gone down the 9/11 route.
No.
If someone had just made him think Bush liked him.
No, the only way to become something that Roger Stone could use is to fake it until they're ready for you, and then you get the job.
Build up your thing, and then you get called in.
You have to build up your whole persona, and then when that persona is useful to somebody in power to lie with, bang, there you go.
And in 2000, it absolutely wasn't.
No, nobody needed that shit.
No. He seemed like a volatile weirdo on public access.
Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's a 9/11, and then an Iraq war, and then a black president. Popularity shoots to the moon.
Mm-hmm. Weird. So you gotta balance this stuff.
Sure.
The stuff that Trump's really good about, and the working with the devil thing.
Do you?
Apparently.
Interesting.
You have to put them on the scales and see what happens. And everyone else wants you to have 2D thinking about this.
Sure.
But Alex will not fall into that trap.
All right.
I refuse to be a dimwit. I refuse to engage in one-dimensional and two-dimensional thinking. I can oppose bad things Trump's doing all day long and try to get him back on track.
Okay.
While at the same time supporting the overwhelmingly good things he's doing.
Can you?
So many people, and it's the way the corporate media does it, want to make it a black and white issue or a left or right issue, or you're either totally doing whatever Trump says, or you're a traitor, or if you support anything Trump does, you're bad. And that's why stuff with Trump coming out over and over again the last week. Don't question Epstein, or you're with the Democrats and you're an idiot, and I'm done with you, and we don't want you in our movement. People say, well, he didn't write that Truth Social post, and then he goes out in press conferences and says basically the exact same thing. That is horrible. But then out of the other side of his mouth, we're going to have one press with a special prosecutor, probably in Mark. Great. On the Epstein thing. And so my frustration is the handling of this. When Trump came out Sunday, 7 days in, Comey, Brennan, and Clapper all had this file for decades. They filled it full of disinformation. It's another Russia hoax. Because That's what it is. And I've been thinking that the last 4 or 5 days, and I made some calls, and people go, how do you know this? We're not going to confirm that to you, but how the hell do you know that? So, that's it. And it's not hard to know that. What did they try before? What did they do before?
Alex is really screwing himself over with this narrative, and he doesn't seem to realize or care. Like, if the globalists can manipulate the Epstein files to try to set up Trump, then why couldn't the Trump people manipulate them to set up Democrats? If some piece of evidence ever does get produced about, like, let's say, Bill Gates, why should anyone take it seriously? Alex has just invalidated the font from which this comes.
Now that I'm hearing you ask some very basic questions, I can understand now why Trump said, don't ask any more questions.
Right.
That makes sense.
They're really tough.
You don't want to answer them.
And what Alex is doing, I believe, is a move in the direction of nihilism. And I think it's counterproductive for someone in Alex's position. It's gratifying in the short term to get him out of this bind with Trump being really suspicious about Epstein, but it doesn't have legs. So it's a gamble that depends on people moving on from the Epstein stuff. If the base moves on, then Alex can play this game and move on too. But if they don't, Trump keeps saying this indefensible stuff, then Alex is boxing himself into a position where he has to make excuses for that indefensible stuff Trump is saying.
Yeah.
It would be far better for him to bail. Because what has a potential to happen after this point is Ghislaine Maxwell going to a cushy prison.
Love it.
Right. How is he going to spend that?
By having a lot of fun.
Right.
And going to the prison with her.
Trump saying that Epstein stole one of his victims.
What's he gonna do? Here's what's fun. Here's what's fun about the little things that these guys reveal because they're stupid, right? If your problem is with his handling of this, right, then your problem is he either didn't lie right or didn't lie enough.
Or both.
Or both. Two people who they nominally like. By handling it, what they mean is your base will continue to like you, right? So if you tell the truth and your base does not like you, then you're saying that handling is only successful if it's a good lie. So you're saying, I don't like how they handled this, is saying, I wish these people would lie to these idiots better.
Yeah.
That's how we operate.
That's a big chunk of it.
Right?
And then also there is a sort of problematic thing where this is not really out of the ordinary for Trump. Like Alex is saying that the handling of it is a problem. It's like, this is how he handles a lot of shit. He just lashes out and calls people losers.
How does it not occur to you that it is an insult to your friends to say that they are being handled appropriately? Oh, he's handling you. You're not smart enough to see through his bullshit. He is handling you appropriately.
Yeah, he usually just doesn't yell at you.
Yeah.
And you're getting yelled at now.
Yep.
So,
Why does he make me look stupid? Because you are.
Yeah. So what do you think about that P-tape?
The old P-tape that we remember from the past? The one that seems fairly likely to be at least basically true.
See, this is the issue that I have.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever really fully doubted that it's possible.
Yeah.
That exists.
It's more important that I'm not doubting it. That's what's more important. Whether it exists or not means nothing. It's that it could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stake a solid position on yay or nay on it.
Yeah.
But I will say that listening to this clip made me think, oh, it's probably real.
Uh-oh.
I think Alex is convincing me.
Oh no.
Long before they tried to implicate Trump and all this crap, I know a lot of people that know him, including Roger Stone, and I asked him about New York Times articles in the 90s. And I talked with them very close to Trump. And I already knew Trump's proclivities.
I'm sorry?
And Trump, actually, this is a big secret. About 15 years ago, he actually went and did operant conditioning training for a while. I don't know the details. To be able to shake people's hands. Because he's such a germaphobe neat freak. And you can look that up. It's come out before he's political that he was a germaphobe. And I learned his proclivities. Let's just leave it at that. And the women he likes, all of it, and what he does. So I research people before I get right. And so, yes, it's absolute total crap. tells his wives, and he's in a divorce, girlfriends, you got your side of the house, you got your bathroom. I don't want any,
Keep right
I knew
and
this
then
before they ever said
turn
the best
right.
thing. Trump doesn't like his wife or anybody. So, because you're married, your wife will sit down and take a piss in
Turn
front of you.
right.
I'll piss in front of my wife. But Trump is so neat freak. He doesn't want to see
Get
his
ready
wife.
to turn left.
That's like, I don't want to see you in the bathroom. And so they come out with he wants to be peed on. He's the
Turn
complete
left.
opposite. He loves golden furniture and crisp golf courses and has his staff sit there
And showers?
and steam and vacuum his suit on the airplane while he's writing memos. The guy washes his hands like 50 times a day. But no, he's being pissed on.
So your argument about why Trump can't be weird about piss is because he's weird about piss.
Yeah. See, whenever people have an extreme reaction to something, there's no way that sometimes sexually that can turn into the opposite of such.
It's something that can happen.
No, I don't think so.
It's not a 1-to-1. It's not always the case, but
Nope.
it definitely can happen. I'm fascinated by Alex's need to be like, he's scared of pee. He doesn't even like seeing pee.
You're missing the whole problem with the tape.
Yeah.
Nobody's problem is the pee. I'm fine with the pee.
Sure.
Pee on people. Whatever. If that's your thing, great.
Yeah.
You can't look online for longer than an hour without seeing somebody pee on somebody else. That's just a fact.
Ooh, that might be.
I mean,
you
hey,
think.
listen.
That might be your.
Listen. I'm just saying. I'm speaking for the
you
common
can't
man.
spend an hour online Googling
Here's
piss.
what I'm doing: handling people appropriately.
Yeah, no, it's a handling issue.
Yeah.
Trump's handling this board, and Alex is handling this board.
And the way that you're talking about it isn't like, hey, man, if he gets peed on, he gets peed on. No big deal. Here's a problem. He's doing it in a random Moscow
Keep
hotel
right.
and he might become the president
And then
someday.
exit right.
That's an issue. But even if there's no pee, even if it's just regular sex,
Exit right.
that's still an issue.
Yeah, I guess. I don't even really care about any of it.
No, I agree.
I just think that it's fascinating that Alex can't not care.
Right.
Like, he can't just be like, let's not talk about this dumb piss tape anymore.
Exactly.
He has to have these elaborate explanations and secret information about Trump and what he does with his wives.
Also, seriously, there's only two ways that I know a person occasionally likes to be peed on. And that's if when I ask them, hey, do you occasionally like to be peed on? They go, yeah. Or they go, no, never, not once. In fact, I'd love the opposite of being peed on. Being peed on sounds disgusting to me. I can't think of anything gross or like being peed on.
Yeah, to me, Alex has made me more suspicious.
Yeah.
And that's great. He's doing his job.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is a guy who hates federal law enforcement.
Sure.
He's a states' rights guy.
Right.
He's super into he's against the police state.
Right. Unless they're slave catchers.
Go straight on.
Yeah, kind of. And
Yeah.
if they have quotas and Trump is in
Well,
charge.
I mean, that's great.
I look at that, and I look at a 96% drop in smuggling across the border. They basically cut it off. I'm really blown away that it's that successful. Very impressive. I mean, these federal agents are not sitting around playing ping pong or eating donuts. And I'm told, and I've seen it from my sources, that they are just 18-hour days, maximum output, guzzling energy drinks, just operating on testosterone and adrenaline. And because Trump has told them through their bosses, you got quotas, you do it, or you're fired. You get massive arrests and massive kids saved, you get bonuses, you get promotions, you get overtime, you get everything. So, I mean, you watch these raids. I've seen them outside the office. Ran into one a few weeks ago. I mean, these feds are just running around like hunting dogs, grabbing. I mean, this is what you're supposed to see going on.
Is it?
Real energy. So, I mean, I drove to the office like 2 weeks ago. I told the story. I didn't want to get out in the middle of it. And I mean, I'm talking 300 yards from the door of the office. They got a Fed vehicle, and then you got a state police. They're backing them up, and the Feds are wearing masks, and they're literally running back and forth, and they're packing like 6 people out of the back of this truck,
fuck yourself.
Yeah,
Based on what you're saying, all of those people could have been shot in the head and you wouldn't give a fuck.
You shouldn't.
Yeah,
if,
fuck
if,
off.
If you're all right with this, I mean,
that's absurd.
Yeah, Alex's his telling of this story is like they look like illegals.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, that's
no.
the only evidence you have to justify why them being treated like piranhas is okay. That is you're telling on yourself.
Everyone, like this, but this is the problem with the past. The past is a real piece of shit like this because things that are true also work retroactively. Like everything that everybody ever said about the fucking Bundys doesn't count anymore. Go fuck yourselves because this shit is true. And if this shit is true now, then it's true retrospectively.
Yeah,
and you were always fine with this
unless
bullshit.
you are one, I don't know who would be an example of this, but someone who really, really cared about the Bundys and now is aggressively opposed to this.
Must be. Yeah.
If that person exists, then I salute
yeah,
you
more
and
power to you
can
for
continue
following
on.
through. Yeah.
You've got consistency and good for you.
Follow through is, at this point in time, honestly, even if it's not great, follow through seems better than whatever it is I'm dealing with all of these fucks doing.
Yeah, it's impressive
Go
in its
straight
own
on.
way.
Yeah.
So Alex is like he's trying to get to this place where like everything is fine.
Yeah.
Trump's cool now.
Yeah.
And I think he's kind of saying on air like, "Hey Trump, thanks for clearing this up.
Oh my God.
Thanks for giving us talking points."
I said this last week. I said, they really indict the globalists and keep saving the kids and all that and keep the border shut down. In the aggregate, it's, thousands of times, 100,000 times bigger than Epstein's intelligence operation. If for whatever reason they don't have the resources or it's old cases or whatever, I people aren't going to buy it, but I understand it. I understand the thinking. But for God's sakes, don't tell us that it never existed and these aren't the droids you're looking for. Move along. Just please. You cannot say something worse to make everybody think you're guilty, Mr. President. And I know you're pissed off. Well, thank God you started telling us on Sunday, oh no, it's Brennan, it's Clapper, it's coming, which did control the foul on record. That's already known. And of course they would do something like that. Of course they did.
Alex is effectively just thanking Trump for telling him what to say. After a rocky start of a few days, Trump gave Alex something that he could work with when he lashed out against crooked Hillary, and Alex thinks that this is good enough to work. Another interesting thing here is that Alex is trying to make a deal with the audience. If they can just ignore
Keep
this,
right.
yeah,
And
if
then
they can swing the other way on this, then everyone gets to pretend that Trump is solving an even bigger evil problem.
Right.
And maybe in the end that
Turn
balances out.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't the imaginary ultimately trump the other imaginary?
It certainly does.
Yeah.
And so I think that Alex is like, okay, Trump, you could have, like, if there was message discipline, we could have just gone with this from the start, and we could have solved a lot of problems.
Right.
Instead, you
Go
had
straight
to
on.
be a dick.
I mean, that's one of the things that they love that shit of like that 4D chess and stuff like this, and it's like, man, sometimes it's just either the truth or not true. There are sometimes there's the messaging is less important than if he'd just gone, here it is, right? And if he doesn't go, here it is, that is an answer that's more important than anything that you might think about handling it.
Yeah, and I think even on top of that, little hat to put on top of that, is if he's like, hey, you're stupid for asking
That
questions
one's
about
trouble.
this.
Yeah.
That goes beyond the
That one's I
doing
wouldn't-
it or not.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking mess.
That's bad handling.
So there's big news out of the HHS, Department
Okay.
of Health and Human Services.
They've hired everybody back and they exist again?
Nah.
Oh, shit.
You've got Kennedy purging the big government, corporate-run Pfizer, Eli Lilly, Johnson & Johnson boards putting in patriots and real scientists. You've got them firing more people today that are globalists. We'll be getting to that. Shake-up. HHS Secretary RFK Jr. fires 2 top staffers and appoints new acting chief of staff. It's on.
So that's a great headline for Alex, but it's not true. Kennedy did fire 2 people that day, but they were his chief of staff and deputy chief of staff for policy. These were Heather Flick Melanson and Hannah Anderson, respectively, and neither of them were big pharma plants in the department. They were directly hired by Kennedy himself in January.
Yeah.
At the time of her appointment, Politico reported that Melanson's choice as chief of staff for HHS was an indication that Trump was looking to keep an eye on what Kennedy was up to, because she's a Trump loyalist. She worked at the HHS in Trump's first term, so it was generally understood that she was a proxy to make sure that Kennedy didn't go too far off script and do things that were actually threatening to the business interests that support Trump.
Right.
Hannah
Go
Anderson
straight
was
on.
also a Trump loyalist and generally just a staunch anti-abortion activist. No one really has an issue with Kennedy firing or replacing these people that he's hired. He has the right to staff his office how he sees fit. But the reason that this is even a headline is because he fired two highly positioned people in the department, and some of the circumstances around it could look like it signifies a break between Trump and Kennedy.
Sure.
And the media loves to report on that kind of stuff.
Love it.
And so that's why this
Go
is...
straight on.
Alex is... He knows nothing about this. He's reading a headline and telling a story.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And part of that is because he's confusing this with news from a month prior when Kennedy fired the whole advisory committee for immunization practices and replaced them with dipshits like Robert Malone.
Sure.
So he's kind of just assuming this is more of the same.
I mean, it's a fair assumption. In his minimal defense, it is a fair assumption that when you see one of these people firing somebody, it's for some made-up dumb reason.
Yeah, and you can pass it off as like, he's firing more globalists.
He got
Great.
him. They're because autism. Yep.
Go to sleep, audience. I'm handling you.
Yep.
I'm handling you by telling you everyone's a globalist.
You guys are the smart people who can see through all the bullshit, and now I'm going to lie directly to your faces.
Yeah. So Alex talks about child labor and how the New York Times even had to come out and talk about it.
Wait.
They did it as a cover-up. They
Okay.
talked about it, but it was a cover-up.
Okay.
Remember 3 years ago, the New York Times used to cover its ass in a couple big reports with thousands of children as young as 9, on average 14, in tire factories, cereal factories, grain processing factories, textile plants. And nothing against the North and in places like Michigan and Illinois, but
The North?
you notice you don't ever see this in the South. Just because there's still Christian values, and there's some of it, but not much. It's in Illinois, it's in Michigan, it's in California, and you know, and they're raping these kids too, and they're not
Jesus.
in school. They're sleeping on mats.
So
If there's anything that the South is famous for, it is not exploiting labor. No. That is their the number one thing I think of. When I think of the South, I think, woo, good thing those people never exploited people.
Christian values.
Christian values.
So the New York Times has actually done a ton of articles about companies exploiting child labor. In many cases, immigrant children who were made to work
Go
in
straight
dangerous
on.
conditions. It's not just in the North where people have abandoned Christian values. It's a long-standing, disgusting trend that's been allowed to go on because addressing the problem would involve punishing big businesses, and that goes against American values. Paying people decent wages will attract qualified and appropriate workers to fill the jobs you need filled, but that also cuts down on profits. So you can get around that by getting a ton of your labor from subcontracting companies who technically are the ones who are the employers of these people, who are then being leased to you to do work. You get someone to fill your position, and you get to have plausible deniability if the people working in your factory aren't legally allowed to work. Therefore, you protect yourself from any of the consequences. You insulate the business.
Wild how that very obvious thing you're doing somehow still works.
Yeah. Republican lawmakers are strongly
Go straight
behind
on.
allowing this to continue, and one of the harsher examples of this is Sarah Huckabee Sanders, governor of Arkansas and Trump's former press secretary, signing a bill in 2023 that got rid of the requirement for children under 16 to get a worker's permit to get a job. That requirement forced employers to verify a worker's age and make sure that their parents signed off on them working, but the GOP in Arkansas just got rid of that. So, to put it as simply as possible, Alex is a full-fledged supporter of the team that is actively pushing for more child labor.
Yeah.
And he can do all this sensational
Go
shit
straight
around
on.
it that he wants, but his policies and the people he supports will lead to far more child labor exploitation.
See, now this is what you say, but the man wants to bring back coal mines. Are you telling me that there's a risk of exploiting children in small, tight spaces like that?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Now, next thing you know, we're gonna have a bunch of looms
Go
eating
straight
children.
on.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I just don't know how to put it any more simply. He gets his way, there will be a lot of kids who are working in dangerous conditions.
Who needs fingers when you're 9?
Right.
Yeah.
It's, you know what? It's the nanny state.
It's the nanny state.
Yeah.
You're totally right.
So, one of the issues that Alex clearly is trying to move attention from Trump's Epstein stuff over
Right.
to
Go straight on.
is the California fires
Sure.
and the rebuilding effort on that.
The article's up on Infowars.com with the video from John Bound. Another conspiracy theory comes true. California bill passes to
on what Kennedy was up to because she's a Trump loyalist. She worked at the HHS in Trump's first term, so it was generally understood that she was a proxy to make sure that Kennedy didn't go too far off script and do things that were actually threatening to the business interests that support Trump.
Right.
Hannah Anderson was also a Trump loyalist and generally just a staunch anti-abortion activist. No one really has an issue with Kennedy firing or replacing these people that he's hired. He has the right to staff his office how he sees fit. But the reason that this is even a headline is because he fired 2 highly positioned people in the department, and some of the circumstances around it could look like it signifies a break between Trump and Kennedy.
Sure.
And the media loves to report on that kind of stuff.
Love it.
And so that's why this is a head. He knows nothing about this. He's reading a headline and telling a story.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And part of that is because he's confusing this with news from a month prior when Kennedy fired the whole advisory committee for immunization practices and replaced them with dipshits like Robert Malone.
Sure.
So he's kind of just assuming this is more of the same.
I mean, it's a fair assumption. In his minimal defense, it is a fair assumption that when you see one of these people firing somebody, it's for some made-up dumb reason.
Yeah, and you can pass it off as like, he's firing more globalists.
He got
Great.
him. They're because autism. Yep.
Go to sleep, audience. I'm handling you.
Yep.
I'm handling
got
you
it.
by telling you everyone's a globalist.
You guys are the smart people who can see through all the bullshit, and now I'm going to lie directly to your faces.
Yeah. So Alex talks about child labor and how the New York Times even had to come out and talk about it.
Wait.
But they did it as a cover-up. They talked about it, but it was a cover-up.
Okay.
Remember, 3 years ago, the New York Times, just to cover its ass, did a couple big reports with thousands of children as young as 9, on average 14, in tire factories, cereal factories, grain processing factories, textile plants. And nothing against the North and places like Michigan and Illinois, but
The North?
you notice you don't ever see this in the South. Just because there's still Christian values, and there's some of it, but not much. It's in like Illinois, it's in Michigan, it's in California, and and they're raping these kids too, and they're not even going to
Jesus.
school. They're sleeping on mats.
So
If there's anything that the South is famous for, it is not exploiting labor.
no.
That is their the number one thing I think of. When I think of the South, I think, woo, good thing those people never exploited people.
Christian values.
Christian values.
So the New York Times has actually done a ton of articles about companies exploiting child labor. In many cases, immigrant children who were made to work in dangerous conditions. It's not just in the North where people have abandoned Christian values. It's a long-standing, disgusting trend that's been allowed to go on because addressing the problem would involve punishing big businesses, and that goes against American values. Paying people decent
Go straight
wages
on.
will attract qualified and appropriate workers to fill the jobs you need filled, but that also cuts down on profits. So you can get around that by getting a ton of your labor from subcontracting companies who technically are the ones who are the employers of these people, who are then being leased to you to do work. You get someone to fill your position, and you get to have plausible deniability if the people working in your factory aren't legally allowed to work. Therefore, you protect yourself
Keep
from any of the
left.
consequences. You insulate the business.
Wild how that very obvious thing you're doing somehow still works.
Yeah. Republican lawmakers are strongly behind allowing this to continue, and one of the harsher examples of this is Sarah Huckabee Sanders, governor of Arkansas and Trump's former press secretary, signing a bill in 2023 that got rid of the requirement for
Keep
children
left.
under 16 to get a worker's permit to get a job. That requirement forced employers to verify a worker's age and make sure that their parents signed off on them working, but the GOP in Arkansas just got rid of that. So To put it as simply as possible, Alex is a full-fledged supporter of the team that is actively pushing for more child labor.
Yeah.
And he can do all this sensational shit around it that he wants, but his policies and the people he supports will lead to far more child labor exploitation.
See, now this is what you say, but the man wants to bring back coal mines. Are you telling me that there's a risk of exploiting children in small, tight spaces like that?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Now, next thing you know, we're gonna have a bunch of looms eating children. Yeah,
Yeah, I just don't know how to put it any more simply. He gets his way, there will be a lot of kids who are working in dangerous conditions.
Who needs fingers when you're 9?
Keep
Right.
right.
It's,
And
you know
then
what, it's the
turn
nanny
right.
state.
It's the nanny state.
Yeah.
You're totally right.
So, one of the issues that Alex clearly is trying to move attention
Turn right.
from Trump's Epstein stuff over
Right.
to
Yeah.
is the California fires
Sure.
and the rebuilding effort on that.
Turn right.
The article's up on Infowars.com with the video from John Bound. Another conspiracy theory comes true. California bill passes to buy fire-ravaged Palisades for low-income apartments and pay you a fraction of what your property's worth. They have issued, get ready for
all
this,
over now.
out of tens of thousands of homes destroyed, less than 10 permits to rebuild. But you remember the press conference back in January, late January, right when Trump got in, with the communist mayor. She admits she's a communist, worked for Cuba, intelligence agencies, vast. And people say, we haven't been given permits. We need to be able to get in there. And she goes, oh, you'll get permits this week. They've issued 8 permits.
The bill that they're talking about doesn't do what Alex and John Bound are claiming. It includes a provision for the county of LA to purchase lots at a fair price and rebuild stuff that's in the public interest, like infrastructure or possibly affordable housing. No one has to sell their lots, and I'm not saying that this isn't something that could be taken advantage of, and you know, it's not necessarily a good thing, but it's not what Alex is describing.
Sure.
Where they're just going to buy up your shit.
Sure.
From an NBC Los Angeles article published on July 8th, the county had received 1,207 requests to rebuild, but they'd only issued 90 permits at that time. In that clip, Alex cited 2 completely incorrect numbers because he's just making this shit up.
Right.
10 permits and then 8 a little bit later.
It's about the same.
So that number, the 90 out of 1,207, that only reflects the requests made to unincorporated LA County. The LA Department of Building and Safety had received 360 requests and approved 70. In an effort to make this process move more quickly, Gavin Newsom exempted fire building projects, the rebuilding projects from the fire.
Yeah.
He exempted them from the 2025 building code standards, only requiring that they follow the 2022 code, but it's still taking like 50 days for permits to be approved, which is too long, but it's also not nearly what Alex is saying. It sucks, and I'm sure that I don't know what the answer is to make it go more quickly, but I'm confident that it's not just lying about the situation in order to build conspiracy theories to distract the audience from Trump's misconduct. But like, it's nuts. Those numbers are from 9 days before this episode that Alex is recording. He's just making shit up.
Yeah. You know what you could do? And here's what I've learned from the movie Weapons, all right? Find a rich person's house, maybe brainwash them, maybe not. Not important. But you can fit a bunch of people in the basement. Just go live in the basement. You don't have a home, right? Those rich people probably don't even live there. It's probably empty. Go live in their basement.
I don't think that people were living comfortably in that basement.
But I mean, you got 50 days to wait for the permit, so it's better than,
Okay.
you know?
Sure. Yeah. Maybe that's what the movie was about.
I think that's what the movie was about. If these kids need a place to stay, keep them in the basement. It makes sense.
So Alex he's really trying to move the focus over to the communist mayor of LA.
Yeah.
Not letting anyone rebuild. And he remembered that press conference
Yeah.
in the last clip.
Okay.
And so he has one of the producers pull it up.
All right.
And I think it's pretty interesting.
Okay.
But see, it's the perfect crime. Drain the reservoir, don't send the fire trucks that night. They said, we didn't send extra fire trucks, we sent them the next morning. That's on record. And everything else they did, not trimming the brush for years, the fire department begging for it, cutting the fire department. Putting DEI people, they're are totally incompetent in charge. So I know what's going on. And then administratively burning that sucker to the ground. And then I said, he's going to appoint a task force, him at the head. He's going to declare a disaster. He's above the law. And they're going to build compact, 15-minute city, high rises, 200 square foot coffin apartments, because that's in the UNESG. And now it's all been announced. Exactly as I said. Here is the clip back 6 months ago. Heard with Trump saying, yeah, we're going to give you the permits right away. And, of course, it was all a lie. Here it is.
We're bringing our city departments together so that people don't get caught in the loop of going from one room to the next. We want them all to be in the same room so that you can get busy rebuilding ASAP. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. And we will clear the lots. Absolutely. In the city and in the county. We are working together. Both levels of government are working in unity.
Not 18 months? Is it like we that's the answer that we got, and that's what we're all hanging on?
Yes.
So if you're telling us now faster, is it 6 months? Is it, I mean, all of our lives, rents, all this stuff is weighing on this.
6 months is no good.
And the number one thing that we are going to do immediately, and you will see this happen, is to clear out the debris. And you know we're concerned right now over the weekend because of the potential rain, but we are going to move as fast as we can, but we want you to be safe, and we want you to be back in your homes immediately.
But the people are willing to clean out their own debris. It doesn't
Yes,
cost
and
a
they
lot.
can,
You
and
should
they are
let them
able
do
to-
it, because
No,
by the
they
time you
can do
hire
that.
contractors, it's
Right.
going to be 2 years.
If a family...
People are willing to get...
Are you negotiating with me right now?
And do it themselves and clean it out.
And they can
There's
do
not that much left. It's all incinerated.
That's right.
And, you know, it's just going to take a long time if you do. You can do some of it, but a lot of these people, I know that guy right there that's talking. I know my people. You'll be on that thing tonight, throwing the stuff away, and your site it'll look perfect within 24 hours, and that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to wait around for 7 months till the city hires some demolition contract,
If
and that's going to
individuals
charge him
want to build-
$25,000 to do his lot.
Yeah.
I think you have emergency powers just like I do, and I'm exercising my emergency powers. You have to exercise them also.
I did exercise them.
Because I looked, I mean, you have a very powerful emergency power, and you
Yes.
can do everything within 24 hours.
Yes. And if individuals want to clear out their property, they can. Yes, but you know that you will be able to go back soon.
Mr. President.
We think within a week.
That's a long time, a week. I'll be honest. To me, everyone's standing in front of their house. They want to go to work, and they're not allowed to do it.
And the most important
a week
thing
is
is
a
for
long
people
time.
to be safe.
They're safe. They're safe. You know what? They're not safe. They're not safe now.
So Alex thought that clip was Trump and LA Mayor Bass arguing about how long it was going to take to get permits to rebuild after the fire. But it was actually about the speed with which people could begin clearing debris. The reason that I think this clip is really important is because how Trump's mind shifts and the argument changes because he's a baby who's throwing a tantrum. Bass is discussing the timetable and logistics for when properties will be cleared so people can return to their homes. And Trump first tries to pick a fight about how people just want to clean up the debris themselves. They don't want to wait for the government to do it for them. They're good, hard-working people who just want to roll their sleeves up. Bass tries to calmly explain to him that people can do that if they want. They don't have to rely on the city or the county to remove the debris, but as it turns out, of the 12,048 properties destroyed in the fire, the owners of 9,873 of them decided to rely on the government's public cleanup program. 1,982 chose to do the cleanup themselves, and nothing was stopping them from making that choice. However, in the immediate aftermath of the fires, people were not allowed to go back to their homes, largely because of very easy to understand safety risks. In the moment, Trump has lashed out and whined about how people should be allowed to clean up their own lots and not rely on the government, and Bass has tried to explain to him that they can. She's like a teacher trying to deal with a child who's angry about a non-existent problem. Trump instinctively knows that he's lost at this point and he looks dumb, but he's also still angry, so he can't just say, okay, well, I'm glad everyone can choose whether or not to clean up their own property. he has to wait for the next thing that Bass says and complain about that and pretend that that was the thing that he was really mad about. This is a huge part of Trump's allure and part of what he and Alex share, which is this steadfast refusal to acknowledge being wrong and the will to just keep
Turn
talking.
left.
It's all about momentum. It almost doesn't matter what he's saying to Bass, but folks like Alex will just see this and celebrate the fact that he kept being a dick to her.
Yep.
He didn't
Turn
let
left.
being wrong keep him down.
Nope.
He just still kept punching.
Yep. And what's most important is that she gave up.
Yeah, or acted like an adult. Like, you know.
Up to her.
Yeah. No, like, I think in the moment, a lot of people probably would not be able to really even recognize that, like, I have made my point, you have made a dumb rebuttal, and we're talking about something else now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've moved on from this point, but you're pretending that we're still in the same argument.
Yep.
Like most, I think someone in Bass's position probably is used to dealing with, like, people who are operating as adults.
Yeah. I mean,
And
that's...
this isn't.
But, I mean, that's why they lost.
Mm-hmm.
That's why everybody lost. That's it. So, I mean, I guess keep doing it.
I guess the alternative is you just have to treat babies like adults.
I guess.
Well, not literal babies, but metaphor babies, Trump babies. Anyway, this episode takes a turn for the worse.
Sounds
Keep
right.
left.
Alex has a
And then
guest
turn
who's going to be
left.
coming up named the John Kiriakou. Is a FBI, CIA whistleblower
Right.
fella.
Turn left.
Right.
Clearly paying for time on the show. So he's coming on, and Alex has seen him on some other shows talking about how Israel is taking over the United States.
Okay.
And so now that's
Oh, God.
A real angle. we're
What are we
going on.
doing?
John Kiriakou is former head of counterterrorism, CIA in Afghanistan and other countries. Very famous, very prestigious, very documented. What he said was true, exposing illegal torture programs and more. I've interviewed him a few times, and he did a great job, but he has been on fire with Patrick Bet-David and Tucker Carlson on Israel really trying to take over the United States. Not just foreign policy, and so much more. So, very impressed. And again, he's not anti-Israel, folks. And I want to be clear, I don't say that as like, wink, wink, dog whistle, I love Hitler, but I don't really hate all the Jews, it's just the Zionist crap. I'm somewhat of a historian.
Somewhat of a historian.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, somewhat is a very heavy word in this equation here.
I think if you take it seriously that you're not dog whistling and trying to hide beliefs behind this kind of shit, you really have a responsibility not to hang out with and promote people who
Go
are,
straight on.
and are very explicit about how that's what they're doing. And I think that Alex, he does not pass that test.
Okay, so here's my question, right? Israel, whoa, they take over. We've been taken over by Israel. But what does that look like? What does that mean? Do all churches close?
I mean, to people in the more extreme ends of Alex's audience,
Sure.
I think they probably think that that's happened a long time ago.
Sure, but I mean, like, you don't even have enough people to administrate a local government. If you're Israel, you can't possibly deal with a bureaucracy the size of the United States. You're a country of like 10 million people. You would need more than that
Go
to
straight
run
on.
the government.
Sure. And that's where blackmail comes in. I don't know.
Oh, okay, fair
I have no idea.
All right, I'm just saying that there's no, like, I get it that it's scary, but also that there's nothing to do.
Well, sure. But, I mean, like, how many globalists were there in Alex's conception?
That's
I mean,
fair.
it changes
That's fair.
a lot.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you have, like, the Council of 12.
They've been in
That's
the back burner for a long time.
But that's a really small amount of people.
That isn't been.
Right. So, I mean, people, motivated folks can get things done.
Yeah, I guess.
So, Alex is, he's talking about how he's going to have this guy on, and he's complaining a lot about Israel and Jews.
Right.
A bit interchangeably, and unfortunately. He starts complaining about how everyone thinks that he's anti-Semitic, and he doesn't do a great job of convincing
Go
the
straight on.
otherwise.
Okay.
If I could hit a button right now and send all the Jews to Mars, I wouldn't do it. But at the same time, I am extremely sick of the ADL and the left and just my whole career on air being called anti-Semitic if I say there's globalists and there's a World Bank and the Federal Reserve is private. Oh, that's a secret code word for Jews. Well, I mean, the Rothschilds, when they set up the Federal Reserve, was the only audit, owned something like 80% of the shares in it. So, yeah, Jews own.
Go.
Let's do this. Ready to roll. Go straight on. Okay, let's find a new route. Get ready to turn left. Never mind. I'll find a new route. Keep right, and then continue straight on. Go straight on. Keep right. Keep right, and then turn left. Turn right.
it's blackfish at play in Hermitage Bay. From Bush through across to Bloss Island, they broach and they spout and they lift their flukes out, and they wave to a town that is dying. Now it's many's the boat that has plied on the foam, hauling away, but there's many more fellas been leaving their homes where the whales make free in the harbor. It's at Portage in Maine. You'll see them again on their way to the hills of Alberta. With lopsided grins, they waggle their chins, and they brag of the wage they'll be earning. Then it's quick, pull the string, boys, and get the tool out. Haul it away, but just 2 years ago you could hear the same shout where the whales make free in the harbor. Free in the harbor, the blackfish are sporting again. Free in the harbor, untroubled by comings and goings of men who once did pursue them as oil from the sea. Hauling away, now they're Calgary roughnecks from Hermitage Bay, where the whales make free in the harbor. It's a living they found deep in the ground, and if there's doubts, it's best they ignore them. Nor think on the bones, the crosses and stones of their fathers that came there before them. In the taverns of Edmonton, fishermen shout, haul it away, they'll have 300 years buried up by the bay, where the whales make free in the harbor. Free in the harbor, the blackfish are sporting again. Free in the harbor, untroubled by comings and goings of men who once did pursue them as oil from the sea. Hauling away, now they're Calgary roughnecks from Hermitage Bay, where the whales make free in the harbor. Free in the harbor again. Glide as we roll north to the sea. Wonder when they'll turn again, even just to the rail. Whirl off one more youngster in the gale. The kid was so damn eager, it was all so big and new. Never had to tell him twice to find him work to do. And evenings on the mess deck, he was always first to sing, show us pictures of the girl he'd wed in spring. But I told that kid 100 times, don't take the lakes for granted. They go from calm to 100 knots, so fast they seem enchanted. But tonight some red-eyed Wyerton girl lies staring at the wall, and her lover's gone into a white squall. Now it's a thing that us old-timers know in the sultry summer calm. There comes a blow from nowhere, and it goes off like a bomb. And a 15,000-tonner can be thrown upon her beam, while the gale takes all before it hit a stream. The kid was on the hatches, lying staring at the sky. From where I stood, I swear I could see tears fall from his eyes. So I hadn't the heart to tell him that he should be on a line, even on a night so warm and fine. But I told that kid 100 times, don't take the lakes for granted. They go from calm to 100 knots, so fast they seem enchanted. But tonight some red-eyed Wyerton girl lies staring at the wall, and her lover's gone into a white squall. When it struck, he sat up with a start. I roared to him, get down. But for all that he could hear, I could as well not made a sound. So I clung there to the stanchions, and I felt my face go pale as he crawled hand over hand along the rail. Now I could feel her heeling over with the fury of the blow. I watched the rail go under, then so terrible and slow. Then like some great dog she shook herself and roared upright again. While the other side I heard him. But I told that kid 100 times, don't take the lakes for granted. They go from calm to 100 knots, so fast they seem enchanted. But tonight some red-eyed Wyerton girl lies staring at the wall, and her lover's gone into a white squall. So it's just my luck to have to watch with nothing left to do. Watch the deadly waters glide as we roll north to the Sioux. Wonder when they'll turn again and adjust to the rail. We'll off one more youngster in the gale. And I tell these kids 100 times, don't take the lakes for granted. They go from calm to 100 knots, so fast they seem enchanted. But tonight some red-eyed Wyerton girl lies staring at the wall. Her lover's gone to a white squall. Bay in the light western airs which blow from the crimson horizon. Once more we tack home with a dry empty hold, save gas if the breeze is so fair. She's a kindly Cape Islander, old but still sound, but so lost in the long rider's shadow. Make and break and make do, but the fish are so few that she won't be replaced should she founder. It's so hard to not think of before the big war, when the cod went so cheap but so plenty. Foreign trawlers go by now with long seeing eyes, leaving all very seldom take any. And the young folk don't stay with the fisherman's way. Long ago they all moved to the cities, and the ones left behind, old and tired and blind, and wait for a pound, for a fame. In make and break harbor the boats are so few, too many are pulled off and rotten. Most houses stand empty, old nets hung to dry, are blown away, lost and forgotten. Now I can see the big draggers have stirred up the bay, leaving lobster traps smashed on the bottom. And they think it don't pay to respect the old ways that make and break men are not forgotten. For we still keep our time to the turn of the tide. This boat that I built with my father still lifts to the sky. One longer and I still talk like old friends on the water. In make and break harbor the boats are so few, too many are pulled up and rotten. Most houses stand empty, old nets hung to dry, are blown away, lost and forgotten. In make and break harbor the boats are so few, too many are pulled up and rotten. Most houses stand empty, old nets hung to dry, are blown away, lost and forgotten. Oh, the year was 1778. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. A letter of marque came from the king to the scummiest vessel I've ever seen. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. Oh, old Sid Barrett, right the tongue. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. For 20 brave men, all fishermen, who would make for him the Antelope's crew. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. The Antelope sloop was a sickening sight. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. She'd list to the port and her sails in ranks, and the cook and the scuppers with the scouters and jacks. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. On the King's birthday we put to sea. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. We were 91 days to Montego Bay, pumping like madmen all the way. God damn them all. I was told
we cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. On the 96th day we sailed again. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. When a bloody grey Yankee hove in sight with a crack 4-pounders we made to fight, goddamn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on the Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. The Yankee lay low down with gold. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. She was broad and fat and loose in stays, but to catch her took me antelope 2 whole days. Goddamn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on the Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. And at length we stood 2 cables away. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. Our 4-pounders made an awful din, but with 1 fat ball he ain't stove us in. Goddamn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. The Antelope shook and pitched on her side. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. Barrett was smashed like a bowl of eggs, and the main trucks carried off both my legs. Goddamn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on the Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. So here I lay in my 23rd year. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. It's been 6 years since we sailed away, and I just made Halifax yesterday. Goddamn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. Was the captain of the Nightingale. 21 days from Clyde in Cove, he could smell the flowers of Bermuda in the gale when he died on the North Rock Shoal. Just 5 short hours from Bermuda, in a fine October gale, there came a cry, oh there be breakers dead ahead from the collier Nightingale. No sooner had the captain brought her round, came a rending crash below, hard on her beam ends groaning went the Nightingale, and overside her mainmast goes. Oh, Captain, are we all for drowning? Came the cry from all the crew. The boats be smashed, how are we all then to be saved? They are stove in through and through. Oh, are you brave and hardy, call your men, or are you blind and cannot see? The captain's gig still lies before you, hold and sound, it shall carry all away. Here we go. He was the captain of the Nightingale. 21 days from Clyde in Cove, he could smell the flowers of Bermuda in the gale when he died on the North Rock Shoal. But when the crew were all assembled and the gig prepared for sea, 'twas seen there were but 18 places to be manned, 19 mortal souls were we. But cries the captain, now do not delay, nor do you spare a butt for me. My duty is to save you all now, if I can see you return quick as can be. He was the captain of the Nightingale. 21 days from Clyde in Cove, he could smell the flowers of Bermuda in the gale when he died on the North Rock Shoal.
pretty flowers in Bermuda. Beauty lies on every hand, and there be laughter, ease, and drink for every man. But there is no joy for me, for when we reach the wretched Nightingale, what an awful sight was plain. The captain drowned, was tangled in the mizzen chain, smiling bravely beneath the sea. He was the captain of the Nightingale. 21 days from Clyde in Cove, he could smell the flowers of Bermuda in her gale when he died on the North Rock shore. He was the captain of the Nightingale. 21 days from Clyde in Cove, he could smell the flowers of Bermuda in her gale when he died on the North Rock shore. He was the captain of the Nightingale. 21 days from Clyde in Cove, he could smell the flowers of Bermuda in her gale when he died on the North Rock shore. Where the earth shows its bones of wind-broken stone, and the sea and the sky are one. I'm caught out of time, my blood sings with wine, and I'm running naked in the sun. There's God in the trees, I am weak in the knees, and the sky is a painful blue. I'd like to look around, but honey, all I see is you. Now the summer city lights will soften the night till you think that the air is clear. And I'm sitting with friends where 45 cents will buy another glass of beer. He's got something to say, but I'm so far away that I don't know who I'm talking to. 'Cause you just walked in the door, and honey, all I see is you. And I just wanna hold you closer than I've ever held anyone before. You say you've been twice a wife and you're through with life. Oh, but honey, what the hell's it for? After 23 years, you'd think I could find a way to let you know somehow. But I wanna see your smiling face 45 years from now. On stage every night, I've been reaching out to find a friend who knows all the words, sings so she's heard, and knows how all the stories end. Maybe after the show she'll ask me to go home with her for a drink or two. Now her smile lights her eyes, but honey, all I see is you. And I just wanna hold you closer than I've ever held anyone before. You say you've been twice a wife and you're through with life. Oh, but honey, what the hell's it for? After 23 years, you'd think I could find a way to let you know somehow. But I wanna see your smiling face 45 years from now. I just wanna hold you closer than I've ever held anyone before. You say you've been twice a wife and you're through with life. Oh, but honey, what the hell's it for? After 23 years, you'd think I could find a way to let you know somehow. But I wanna see your smiling face 45 years from now. Yes, I wanna see your smiling face 45 years from now. For just one time, I would take the Northwest Passage to find the hand of Franklin reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing one warm line through a land so wide and savage, and make a Northwest Passage to the sea. Westward